Let us all bow down to Shumanji and put ourselves in her bandhan. putting our hands flat on Mother Earth or pointing towards Mother Earth. Just humbly bow down to her within. At this time, when we when we are marking the great penance of Lord Christ, who through his resurrection opened up the Agya Chakra so that with Shumanji's advent, we could all get our self-realization and paved the way for the transformation of mankind. let's let's take the mantra of Sri Bhumi Devi and then of Sri Ganesha. Om Tvameva Sakshat Sri Bhumi Devi Sakshat Sri Adi Shakti Sri Mataji Sri Nirmala Devai Namo Namaha. Sri Ganesh. Om Tvameva Sakshat Sri Ganesha Sakshat Sri Adi Shakti Sri Mataji Sri Nirmala Devai Namo Namaha. Sri Ganesha, kindly please be present on all our chakras, on all our nadis. Your essence is that of a child, full of innocence, full of all the powers of Shri Adi Shakti, because you're absolutely one with her. We humbly pray that Shimaji kindly bless us with the same awareness and the same oneness with you. Because the time has come for all realized souls, for all your children to become one. Because that's the only way to transform ourselves and transform this world. And this work has to be done with intensity, the same way as Lord Christ in his intensity went through the great penance to open the doors for an enlightened life for all of us. From the heart, let's our attention just go to the Agya and to the Sahasrara. And here, with that same intensity, with that same Junoon, promise that Shimaji, whatever has to be done, we will do it without any questions, without any alternatives, because this ego and superego have to be sacrificed for us to settle in your kingdom. With folded hand, let's take the mantra of Sri Yeshu Krishna. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Yeshu Krishna Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Shri Mataji Shri Nirmala Devai Namo Namaha. Now from the heart, let's offer the Lord's Prayer. Our Father and Mother, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in the heavens. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from all evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Again, with the same intensity, with the same surrender, with the same commitment to forge ahead and to transform ourselves and transform whoever comes in contact with us. Let's humbly take his name and surrender at the feet of Shimaji. Shri Yeshu Krishna. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Yeshu Krishna Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Shri Mataji Shri Nirmala Devai Namo Namaha. Now let's offer the three Maha Mantras. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Mahalakshmi Shri Maha Saraswati Shri Maha Kali Trigunatmika Kundalini Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Shri Mataji Shri Nirmala Devai Namo Namaha. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Kalaki Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Shri Mataji Shri Nirmala Devai Namo Namaha. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Kalaki Sakshat Shri Sahasrara Swamini Moksha Pradayani Mataji Shri Nirmala Devai Namo Namaha. Shri Mataji Shri Nirmala Devai Namo Namaha. Shri Mataji Shri Nirmala Devai Namo Namaha. Bolo Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Ki Jai. Jai Shri Mata. Prasad, we can start.
पहले अंग्रेजी में और फिर हिंदी में आपसे बातचीत करें. Today is the day we are celebrating Easter. Easter is extremely symbolic of not only of Christ but also for all of us. In that, the most important day is that of resurrection. चला गया, घुमा दीजिए. The resurrection of Christ has the message of Christianity, not the cross. Through resurrection, Christ had shown that one can be resurrected with the body that you are. And without his resurrection, we could not have managed the crossing of Agyachakra, no doubt. His life was very short of, we can say, 3.5 years only. He lived there. He came to India and he met Shalivana. And Shalivana asked his name. He told him his name was Isa Masih. But he said, I am coming from the country where there are mlechas, mala icha. They have icha of mala, desire to get dirty. And I don't know how to live there. To me, this is my country. But Shalivana said that you should go back and save your people and give them Parama Nirmala Tattvam. So he went back, and as it is, within 3.5 years, he was crucified. At the time of his death, he said so many beautiful things for forgiveness. But ultimately he said, behold the mother. That means you should hope for the mother. And in his lifetime, he also said that I'll send you the Holy Ghost who will comfort you, counsel you, and also redeem, means resurrect you. All these things, he had said it because he knew what was the whole plan. Also he said that you may say anything against me or do anything against me, but anything against the Holy Ghost, I will not tolerate. I will not tolerate at any cost. Which is true also. So it is very dangerous also to go against the Holy Ghost, no doubt about it. It's not me that is dangerous, but these deities are extremely dangerous. So in Sahaja Yoga, you are all resurrected with your body. Before this, you were not connected to the all-pervading power, and whatever you did was through your mind or through your emotions. But you did not come out of that grave of emotions and your desires, your actions, and your ego. After realization, now you know how free you have become, how you have developed your own personality. There are so many instances which we can talk about Christ, that he said, know thyself. Throughout. He knew without knowing yourself, you won't be resurrected. But Sahaja Yoga is the other way round. You get your resurrection and you know yourself. It's a very Sahaj, sweet way of getting realization. But if you see to the life of Christ, he has talked about murmuring souls. We too have in Sahaja Yoga, because it's open to everyone, all kinds of people. We find very shallow people coming to Sahaja Yoga who try to express their shallowness and talk in a very loose way about Sahaja Yoga, about the work of Sahaja Yoga. So that was inevitable. But what Christ has said, that you have to be careful about the murmuring souls. And this is exactly, we have to be very careful. When you come to Sahaja Yoga in the beginning, you may come across such people who are murmuring souls. You may be enticed by them because they are a kind of, we should say, messengers of negative forces. And these messengers of negative forces, you should try to find out. They'll complain about this, complain about that. They talk in a very loose manner. And when you see that they are not talking in a positive way, you should run away from them. Because only by getting your resurrection, you are not all right. After getting your resurrection, after your self-realization, you have to grow. And for that growth, we have to be very careful about how we get impressed by all these, I should say, very frivolous people. Those who grow into it become beautiful angels, no doubt about it. But that is one thing one has to know, is to respect your self-realization. You shouldn't worry about what others are talking, what others are saying, what they are criticizing. But you should look at yourself and all the time try to grow into your depth. It's a very great chance of life that you are being resurrected, and this is the last breakthrough, as you know, of our evolution. But now you should leave your mind on one side, because this mind, if you go on working with it, you cannot go beyond mind. And Sahaja Yoga you can achieve by going beyond your mind. Then you know yourself, because you get self-knowledge, you know about your centers, you know about the centers of others. All this is available to you. But you have to become a subtler and subtler person, not a gross personality. If you become subtler and subtler, you'll be amazed how you will develop your inner powers in so many different ways. But there are people in Sahaja Yoga I've seen who are very ambitious. And they start saying that, Mother, we want to be God realized, I want to be this and God to that. There's no office going on here that you give somebody a promotion. You have to grow yourself. Then they start proclaiming, I am this, I am that. We call them Mahayogis. Some of them had started saying that they have reached very high positions, this, and they ended up in the lunatic asylum. All such suggestions, if people give you, then you should shun such people. But there are also other people who join such a bombastic fellow. So you must remember that this last judgment is working, and all the time there is a big sieving out, very big arrangement of choices. Those who are subtle start getting subtler and subtler and subtler. But those who are frivolous, gross, idiotic, stupid, they start frittering away. So this last sieving starts very fast working out, where we realize that where are we? Now what is the criteria for that? First is your compassion. Your compassion must be discreet. Sometimes people only have compassion for negative people. After Sahaja Yoga, you should know for whom you should have your compassion. इसको बंद कर. With vibrations you can find out. Very easy to find out with vibrations what sort of a person you are facing. But first, if you must have vibratory awareness. If you don't have vibratory awareness, you won't be able to find out at all what is correct and what is incorrect. So, it is important that you all must meditate. Without criticizing yourself anything, you can just meditate. Every day is very important. I immediately know who is the person who is meditating and who is not meditating. Immediately. The person who meditates is very clearly an angel. The whole reaction, the whole behavior, the whole attitude of such spiritual maturity manifests. And you are amazed. As you know, Sahasrare Mahamaya. It's not easy to understand me. For the time being, you might know what I am, then suddenly you will forget. That's the trick. Because if you know me in full ways, you won't even sit here. You won't even come nearer to me. So that Mahamaya is acting all the time, but that's the only way you can judge people. This last judgment is not an easy thing. Even if you put thousands of judges, they cannot do this judgment. All the time you have to know what is what. And somehow I know everything, but I will never show that I know. That's how I work it out, and gradually I know what I have to do about that person. This resurrection of yours is much more blessed than that of Christ. He was alone. People wouldn't recognize him. He had to show his marks where they had put nails on his hands and feet. But today that is not the situation. Only thing is, first of all, you have to recognize me, that's all. Need not know me, it's not easy, it's difficult to know. But if you recognize me, that's all. And it all depends on your sensitivity. Your resurrection has to be complete, and you have to mature in Sahaja Yoga. If you cannot mature, I will say you should leave Sahaja Yoga. Go out for a while, where you will understand what's going on. Then you will come back. In Sahaja Yoga, like Christ sacrificed his life, is not expected of you to sacrifice your life. Your mother doesn't want that. But you have to do some sacrifices, like you have to stay in uncomfortable places, in Ganpatipule sometimes or somewhere. You have to face many odds while traveling. Also, coming down here may not be so comfortable as you are at your place. But the main sacrifice is of your ego. You have to crucify your ego. The ego is the one which teaches you all these nonsensical tantrums that people know. If you can surrender your ego, just surrender your ego. That surrendering can help you. But if you surrender your ego by thinking about it, then you are using your mental capacity. Everything you do like that is through your mental capacity, by which you are using your ego. So the best way is to meditate, to go into thoughtless awareness, and there automatically you are surrendered. Now what do I have to have from you? Nothing. I don't want anything. I don't want to have anything. You are the ones who try to give me this and give me that. I am trying to run away from all that. Just for your satisfaction also, I agree. I don't have to do Sahaja Yoga myself. But that's the love of your mother, that she wants to save as many as possible, all that are created on this earth, to give them their resurrection. This is special time. And you are my channels. You can go all over and spread Sahaja Yoga and try to help others to come out of it. Today is a day of promises, where we have to promise ourselves that we'll grow in a very deeper understanding or feeling or in sensitiveness of Sahaja Yoga. This growth has to take place, for which I have to meditate. This is a very important thing. Secondly, people say that here people are very miserly. They are not willing to do this. They don't want to pay any money for this, pay any money for that. But I think generosity is one expression of your love. They will give me, all right. But when it comes to expenses, either I pay or somebody bears the burden. Now things have improved, but still we should know that this tremendous work has to be done, and we need money for that. I don't need. I spend my own money. But generosity is the best. And this generosity is very, very important for surgeries. I have seen people are very meticulous, sometimes very calculating. They will tell me, bring some saris for me. Take some saris, all right, very good idea. And they say, we don't like it, we don't want to buy. I'm not doing any business. I buy it because you want it, I have selected it. Then to say we don't want to have it. There's no business, there's no marketing. And this is the problem when I don't understand Sahaja Yogis, that they should know Mother herself has put in her money. So what is there? Also they should say take little more for Sahaja. After all, such a big organization going on. And there are so many countries who cannot pay a single farthing. For them also one has to pay. Now, Christ was sold for 30 rubles. You can imagine. He was sold for 30 rubles. So, that shows that when you do not try to understand the financial difficulties of the organizers, and you do not help, you are really selling the Christ within you. You cannot sell Christ. You cannot sell Sahaja Yoga. But that doesn't mean you exploit it. So I have to tell you that I was myself surprised. In North India, where I least expected, people are extremely generous. Extremely generous. And then generosity helps you in a way that a Lakshmi Tattva is to be awakened. I had to bring in this point because I have complaints from people that people are reluctant to pay for anything like this. It's very remarkable that some people take over But everybody must contribute, is important, because you are doing God's work. You have to also come forward to do other things that are there without grudging, enjoying it. I was happy the posters were put by the Sahjogis, and you can see the whole place vibrating. You could see how it has worked out. So everybody must go all out to do everything that is possible. Nothing else is needed but your full heart into Sahaja Yoga. Then you will see how you will grow. It is only through your heart you will receive all your nourishment for your spirituality. So open your heart, do not calculate so much. आपसे हिंदी में भी बातचीत
Let's take a moment and just meditate on what Shrimanji has said and embrace it deep inside. The generosity, the focus on transforming ourselves and everybody. So that this great penance of Lord Christ bears fruit. And here we'll just take a moment to remember the 4 oaths that we all Sahaja Yogis have taken as our commitment to Sri Ganesha. That automatically means to Lord Christ, to Shrimanji. The first oath is that we will be innocent. Not only that we'll be innocent, but it'll be proved to people that we are innocent. Where our sincerity, our devotion, our dedication, everything that we do is guided by a spirit, by innocence. The second oath is that Sri Mataji, Sri Ganesha, Lord Christ, I promise that I will be honest to myself and I will not deceive myself for anybody's sake. Not my son, daughter, mother, father, husband, wife, nobody. My honesty is to my own spirit, to my connection with you. That's the thing which matters beyond everything else. Then the third oath is that we know that our mother is the power of this universe. So we don't have to be afraid of anything at all. All our wisdom comes from us, from her. So we don't have to go anywhere else. And for that reason, from inside, we're totally committed, totally devoted, totally dedicated, and surrendered only to her. And in some measure, we pray that may even a small part of that dedication, that devotion, that surrender, the absolute oneness of Sri Ganesha, of Lord Christ, with Srimanji, may that also become part and parcel of our being. And here, this is not just a simple prayer. This is now a intense desire which has to manifest into action. And the last one, Dashmaji, Lord Christ, Sri Ganesha, we promise that we'll respect every Saj Yogi from our heart. Because we are all made in the form of Sri Ganesha. We will not make fun of them. We will not laugh at them. So long as they are in Saj Yoga, we have to respect them. We will not put our ego on other people. Fully knowing that we don't understand and know everything. And for that reason, with complete heart, we will respect each and every person because they have got their realization and are a great soul. And that will bring us together, that respect, that the spirit within is enlightened. And that light is coming from Srimanji. Just let's meditate on our four oaths because this has to manifest. So just take 2 minutes. Jai Shrimati. Prasad, we can continue.
I'm happy to know so many of you have come here. And I feel this is a very important puja, not only for Australia, but for the whole world. Because it has the greatest message, which we have actualized now in Sahaja Yoga. We have to understand the message of Christ. There are many people in this world who try to show off that they are very great rationalists and that they have a right to pass any remark they like about Christ. I was reading the newspapers today, I was surprised, where they are all saying one by one that I reject this part of Christ that he was born with immaculate conception. I reject that he was resurrected. I reject this and I reject that. Who are you? Because you can write, because you have a flair, how can you say such things? Just without finding out. You are a scholar, maybe you are very well read, maybe that you think you are capable of saying whatever you like about any subject, but subject of spirituality cannot be dealt by people who are not even selfless. Because it's a very divine life, it's a very different life. It's an area where your mind cannot enter. It is beyond the mind. And so the poets or artists, all of them who have worked on Christ's life and have tried to say things about him, mostly were realized souls, and if they were not, they could not do any justice to his life. It's very surprising that I should be celebrating this resurrection in Australia. You know, this is the country of Muladhara, and Muladhara itself then expresses itself or manifests in the Agya. So, such a great connection you have that, first of all, is the country where Muladhara is established, was established, I should say. And later on that it was manifested in the life of Christ on the Agya Center. I must say that you have really created some very great people signifying this beautiful manifestation. Because as you have Dr. Bhagwan, who is an Australian, in the sense that he lived here, and then he went back to Russia, which is the right Agya, where he worked. In the same way as Sahaja Yoga has prospered here, to begin with, among all the European countries, or we can say among all the countries which were not Indian, maximum growth took place in Australia. And the maximum growth now first took place in the Eastern Bloc, in Russia. Now the other part of the Agya is China. And it is you people only, out of you only, some people have to look after that. And as it is, you are all looking after Taiwan, Hong Kong, Thailand. All these are Chinese races. Apart from that, they worship Buddha. It's very interesting. Buddha, as you know, is on the left side of your Medha, as they call it. This is the Medha plate. Is the lower plate of the brain. So the Christ is in the center, and we have got Buddha on the left side. Or you also are looking after the countries which are influenced by Buddha. It's all working out like a plan. Perhaps you are not aware of it, that we are all people belonging to one Virata, and that our needs or our work, all of them have great significance and connection. About Australia, there's a myth in India that there was a big saint and he was very good, but somehow he made some mistakes, or maybe lots of mistakes. So God cursed him and said, you better go away from India. It was connecting India and Africa. So the land was brought down to this point. He gave him the land, God, and he said, now you resurrect this land and make something out of it. And this star is called as this Trishanku, which is your southern cross. The southern cross is called as Trishanku, as it mentioned in our Puranas, as this saint who became like that, and God made him into a star which is hanging. Trishanku is hanging on top of this land and is working out the building up of this country. He was told that you go there and make a heaven for the human beings. This has so many mythological and historical backgrounds. And there are some very good points also I've seen about Australia, which are very surprising, because they believe in the multiracial society and they preserve it. They try to help the people through justice if some people are troubled and tortured. This is a very bold attitude towards progress, that we should have multicultural society. And this comes, again I would say, after resurrection of political thought. America is multicultural society, full of it, and as a result of that, they have progressed very much financially. But they didn't learn anything from the multicultural society. For example, Spanish went there. Spanish, as you know how, bullfighters. They went and destroyed all the cultures of the ancient times. And the new people who have gone, they don't have any rapport with them. Like Indians have a separate identity, then we have other cultures like Islamic and all that. So they don't keep any connection with them. The original aboriginals are also kept out as something very low level. But here I find people have a curiosity and also knowledge about the other cultures which are around them. That shows the sense of collectivity is within your genes, we can say, that it is working out in such a way that this country believes still in the multicultural society. All these are manifestations of Sri Ganesha's quality. See, if you have, say, a group of even 10 people with husband and wife, and they don't have the purity of Sri Ganesha, they cannot exist, because there will be always a very great conflict between husband and wife. Also, not only the conflict part, but people will become extremely superficial. Like in America, a woman would marry a man because he wears such and such dress. Or a woman is appreciated because she has a particular type of hairstyle. If the hairstyle changes, the man can ask for a divorce. So superficial they are. The fight is with the husband that you didn't buy a particular coat which I liked, so there's a divorce. It's so superficial. So the relationship between husband and wife is established by Sri Ganesh, and he gives you the pure idea about how to enjoy your married life. While people like Freud become so important, they start replacing Christ, and people become enamored by that. Because human beings, if they know that in potential state they are all divine, they all have to become divine, and not to go down to the level of animals, even worse than that. If they realize it, that their main object of life is resurrection, that they have to rise above all these so-called temptations of life. If they know this potential, then they have to believe in it also, so that they do not have these absurd ideas about life. As a human being, Christ came. He came as a human being, but he was not a human being. He was divine. Absolutely, he was nothing but Omkara. That's why he could walk on the water. There was nothing materialistic in him, you can say, no matter in him. If there was any matter, he could not have walked on the water. But if people start discarding all these facts about his birth, about his walking on the water and all that, then what is left of Christ I can't understand. Now this message of resurrection is very important, but what you find that as you get 3 days holidays, people are just doing what one should not do. They have gone to some places, maybe with their wives, may not be with their wives, with anybody, into some sort of a rubbish, and they enjoy things which cannot be enjoyed by anybody who is a realized soul. So we have to know ourselves that now we have got our realization, we got it. Not that it is in a potential state, but it is in a kinetic state. So for us, Christ should be a model, what kind of life we should live. In those days of Christ, there were no aeroplanes, there were no cars, nothing. But he went from places to places and talked to them about spiritual life. The people were not yet evolved. They were not mature enough. So he could not give them realization, but he talked about dharmic life. He went to the extreme of the 10 Commandments, that he said, not only that you should not do adultery, but you should not even have adulterous eyes, pure eyes. Now, how is it possible? When you see Christians and Christian nations, they suffer from this disease of not having at all clean eyes. There's a kind of a lust and greed in the eye, and they are not ashamed of it. Thank God, Sahaja Yogis all over the world have changed so much, transformed so much. They have become so beautiful that this problem we don't have. And if somebody has it, we want that person to get out of Sahaja Yoga till they cure themselves and come to normal. The main problem of the Christian nation is that they have become too much mental. Even sex they do mentally, in the sense they flirt. The eyes are so much all the time looking at something and reacting to it. They cannot witness anything. Anything they see, they start thinking about it, react to it. Then the reaction, because they are not evolved, can take them to any level of bestiality, worse than beasts. For example, an innocent person sees something, he goes into thoughtless awareness and he just enjoys the beauty of that. But a person who is full of lust and greed can never enjoy anything. On the contrary, he would like to possess that thing, or would go beyond the limits of his authority and enjoy somebody else's wife, somebody else's husband. It's a very subtle thing which we should understand. When we make friendship with others, what do we enjoy in the friendship? What do we see in that friendship? As realized soul, how your friendship should be. The friendship should be pure, nirvaj. That is, you are friendly with somebody because just you enjoy the pure friendship, where there's no sense of possession or also the sense of destruction. Such a friendship is a Sahaj friendship. I have seen people all over the world, when they come to Ganpati Pule, the way they laugh, the way they enjoy. And I feel so happy that this new world of such innocent people has been created on this earth in my lifetime. You should also realize that you belong now to a very higher type of people, very higher type. There's no justification for any Sahaja Yogi to indulge into such dirty stuff. because he is beyond it. He has developed a new sense of beauty and cleanliness. He cannot bear anything which makes him look like a person who goes towards all kinds of filthy things. This is a speciality which you have got it, which was potentially within you, and despite the atmosphere in which you lived and you saw, you just got out of it and became like beautiful lotuses in the pond of filth. And these lotuses themselves can give such a beautiful fragrance to others that they can make the whole pond fragrant and beautiful. So the responsibility on you is much more than I would say on Christ. Because Christ was divine. I was asking them to get Devi Mahatma if possible, that he is described as the son of Lord Krishna and Radhaji. And that he has been given a special power and is called as the support of the universe. Just imagine, Mooladhar. He is the support of the universe. And the birth is described in a beautiful way, that first he was created like an egg. This purity, this auspiciousness was made into an egg. That's why during Easter you people give eggs to friends. Now this egg was nicely also kept for ages, and then it was broken into two. The first one became Sri Ganesha, and the second one, which evolved fully like an egg when it is evolved and is fully mature, the second one was Christ. You may say that how is it one egg has two forms? I must say these are divine happenings. They are very different from what we see in the mundane world. Now this egg, the second part of it, became a child, and he was crying for his father. All his life Christ talked for his father, and when he knew he will be crucified, he prayed to his father, saying that, "O Father, save me from this cup of crucifixion." He prayed. And if you see his two fingers, these two fingers are always out. Expression of his blessing. This is the one which stands, as you know very well, for Sri Krishna, and this one for Vishnu. So always he showed these two fingers. There are so many things by which we can, as Sahaj Yogis, find out how Christ has been ruling throughout. He is not dead. His body might have been perished in Kashmir, as they say, but he was the spirit. And the spirit that was in him was a living, eternally living, great personality. We may say that he might have had little bit of, we can say, the human aspect to camouflage himself. After all, spirit just cannot come in. And that might have been dead, that part, that camouflage that he was using. In divinity, as Ganesha is pure, he is absolutely beyond any kind of contamination. Other incarnations who came on this earth, They had to do many things. Like Sri Krishna had to go in the war of Mahabharata. Rama had to go in the jungle to deal with people. Same with Christ, we can say, that he did go to all these places, but he never behaved like a human being. Others did. Sri Rama cried a lot, wept a lot for his wife. Then Sri Krishna married so many times because they were his power, so he married them. So though they were incarnations, they had to very much do the things which human beings do. Christ was never married. He never wept, as far as we know, except when he was praying to his Father. He just asked that if you could remove this cup from my mouth, I'll be very happy. So it's shown in his character that he came on this earth as a divine personality, lived as a divine personality, and died as a divine personality. I think that way it is much easier to be. Because you are a divine person, you come, give some sermons, lectures, this, that, and just go away. He didn't take the responsibility of giving realization to people, which is the greatest headache, I think, to give realizations to people. Because if you give them the resurrection, if they get their realization, Christ accepted his resurrection as a natural thing because he knew all about it. And that he didn't have to change, he didn't have to transform himself, he was the same as he was. Because he did not need any resurrection. He just tried to show in his life that we human beings can have our realization and we can be resurrected. His message is not the cross, but the resurrection. And this resurrection, if you understand, then one can understand also one more thing, that we are now resurrected from ordinary human beings to the divine level. It was easier for Christ because he didn't have to face any problems. While you are coming out of that human life to such a higher life, suddenly it is too much, I agree. It is too much to accept. But because you go beyond your mind, it's not difficult. Because your mind stops thinking. Otherwise, normally people would have been thinking, now I am resurrected, all right, so what should I do? What should I drop out? What things should go away? What is the goal? All these ideas of human beings would have followed you slowly. But no, you just felt we are there. Now what to do? We are there. You became conscious of your qualities, of your virtues, of your greatness. And those who were conscious became very confident that we have these values already existing within us. We have these powers which are manifesting, and these powers are flowing through us. Nobody doubted it. Some did, but very few. As you grew up, immediately you knew that the divine is acting through you, is there. Everything is tangible. You know everything about your inner being. Gradually, you start spreading out yourself, spreading out your personality. And then you don't have the weaknesses as human beings have. We had some funny people, no doubt, I know. That people start thinking about how to make money out of Sahaja Yoga. And that's still a human nonsense going on. Or how to show your powers, how to show how your powers can assert, how to sort of use your ego to put down people. All these are human style of lives, and it existed for some time, but now I find you all are washed, as if through this Kundalini has just washed you completely. You all have become very beautiful people, extremely beautiful. And even people, they see you at the airport and they think that these are some unique people. Even in this area, when we came, they were telling me that the gentleman who is the caretaker was saying he has never seen such a group. They don't fight, they don't argue, they don't make money. The children are so sweet. It's remarkable. Such a society in these modern times never existed anywhere. And how is it is existing here? They were quite surprised, as also you should be, that you have achieved this without any much effort or any penance or going to Himalayas. You got it here because it was all there. It was all there and you found it. Our marriages are 90% are successful. We have problems from the parents, sometimes from the society, but it's too little to be mentioned. And it makes one sense to me that we can really change this world. No doubt about it. If you remember that the message of Christ is resurrection, that has already happened. Now, after resurrection, what? Your attention should be there. If it is still on your job, on your money, on your car, your house, this, that, then you are still a human being. You have not yet lost that attachment. Or on your children and your spouses and all. That is all being still absolutely human. But a person who is divine has all the relations but doesn't get attached and involved into. I have given many a time a very good example of the trees. See, in the tree the sap rises, goes to various parts of the tree. Either it is evaporated or it goes back to Mother Earth. It never gets attached to anything. As long as you are attached to your children, attached to this, attached to that, then try to understand that divinity has not fully manifested. That detachment is not neglect. Never. On the contrary, it is the most pure detachment which really nourishes every area of your life. Wherever you go, it nourishes. So you have to test yourself. Nobody else has to do it. How far I have been kind to others? How far I have been helpful to others? How far I have been collective? I have seen glimpses of this many a times, and it has given me great joy. Like once we had a program of Sahajogis, and the gentleman had invited me alone for dinner. So the program was there, and I just thought that how can all these people eat in his house, you see. So I waited till they disappeared. All the Sahajogis disappeared. This gentleman came to say, "Mother, why did you ask them to go? I had cooked for all of them." See, this made me so happy. He had a small house. I don't know how he cooked for all of them, and so much food he had cooked already, and he was waiting all of them to have some food. And I just thought that it is too much for him to feed so many people. In the same way, we have to have this feeling that we are all collective and we have to help each other. It is, say, in the body, if I have any problem in any finger, any hand, anywhere, the whole body runs for it. The whole body suffers for it. Whole body knows about it. In the same way, in Sahaja Yoga, there should be a common feeling all over the world. If something happens here, one person is affected, the whole world should know. Not only that know, but they should make efforts. If one person is suffering, the whole world will suffer for that. And this is what is the culmination of our collectivity. Those who try to keep out of it, you see, in the collectivity, cannot grow also. About many things I have to say, but especially I would say that when we see somebody in difficulties, say financial difficulty, at that time we should try to suggest or try to help that person as just a part and parcel of the whole. Then that person will realize that I have so many people here. I am not alone. Somebody might get more, somebody might get less, makes no difference. But the activity of the collective should be such that you should feel that oneness, that innate feeling for another person, innate. You not have to think about it, but is innately you should feel attached to that person, and you should feel that you have to do something about it. After all, why should he not have the same joy as I have? So the first thing that you will do of such people is normally is to help him in his chakras, help him in his endeavors. It is very easy now to do Sahaja Yoga. In the olden times it was very difficult. If you had tried Sahaja Yoga, say in the early time of Christ, you all might have been crucified. Could be. What did Christ do after all? Why was he crucified? But nowadays that's not so. Then you, like other saints and people in India, thousands of years they said we have been meditating. We started our meditation when we were nothing, and now years after years, our different births after births, we have worked hard to get to this situation that now we have got realization. You don't have that problem. There's no problem at all, except for one, that you have to have full assessment of yourself, that you are the pure spirit and that you are in the kingdom of God. Just like Christ, it did not matter to him. He had to oppose something that was wrong, he did it. When he had to support something was destroyed and saved, he did it. He had nothing to do with Mary Magdalene. But when people started stoning her, he went and stood before her and he said, those who have not committed any sin can throw stone at her. See, this courage, this confidence was in him because he was a divine personality, because of divinity. But you have become divine. In a way, you know better about life than he knew, because he never touched all these points that you have touched, from what problems you have come on. So you should have much more understanding for people who are not in Sahaja Yoga or who want to come to Sahaja Yoga. Like as soon as they come to any program, you should not start saying you are a bhoot, you are that. You were a bhoot before you came here. Quite a big bhoot. If you ask me, I can tell you. But when you realize what is your importance, now you have become qualified. You know everything about it. When you know that this has happened, then try just to follow few rules about Sahaja Yoga. It's very easy for you to follow because you are divine, no problem. No problem. You can follow it very well. But don't yield to human pressures that still linger in you or maybe in the society. You keep to your own style, to your own behavior, and you'll be amazed that the rest of the world will worship you. Not hang you, but worship you. In your lifetime it's going to happen. But try to understand that you are being resurrected for a purpose. And that purpose is to transform this world into a beautiful place for which all of you should, with full attention, with full understanding about yourself, about your responsibilities, should jump into it. Australia has a special responsibility. As I told you, some are so over-responsible and some are not at all. I can't understand why it is so. Why is it happening like that? I see people who are so attentive and some whose attention is still not all right, moving like this, moving like that. So, you should try to follow people who have reached a certain height. Try to follow their life, their lifestyle. And then you will be amazed that you can do it very easily because you are mature. It's like, I've said that we are like an egg and it has to be hatched once you are mature. But some chicks come out and just start walking nicely. With little legs, you see them very nicely walking towards the mother. And the others are still there, covered with all kinds of filth on them and not able to walk. And then these ones who can walk, just bring them, you see, they poke them with their beaks and say, come along, come along, come along. And they bring it to the mother. It's very interesting, you must watch them. This Easter has a great meaning that we are now newly born chicks and we have to now follow a new path. It's a very simple path, but still we are conditioned, so we are afraid maybe, or we have an ego, whatever it is. So drop out all these things, just humble down and just start walking on this path of Sahaj. And one day Australia should be able to cover the whole world. I can't see why not. After all, you are the Muladhara and the Muladhara must play its own role as the wisest people. Wisdom is the power that you get from Sri Ganesha. So you have to be wise, absolutely wise, and know that you have been seekers. You didn't get it because I asked you or we paid you or anything, but you were seekers struggling to know the truth, and that's how you got it. And once you have got it, you should establish it fully in your life and also in the lives of others. Let others also feel that this gentleman is very unique or this lady is very unique. She's very different. She's not selfish, she's not cunning, she doesn't manipulate. But somehow by her character, by her nature, she is trying to create light for us and enlighten our path, enlighten the path of others. May God bless you.
We'll offer a short puja. Before that, we'll offer a beautiful bhajan about the victory of Lord Christ over death.
मरण समय Most of us are trying to take steps into physical.
We'll offer the divine essence of prayer. Pranam Shri Ganesha. Pranam Shri Yeshu. Pranam Shri Mataji. Let our ears hear that which is true. Let our eyes see that which is pure. Let our beings praise that which is divine. And let those who listen, hear not my voice, but the wisdom of God. Let us worship with the auspicious song, the appropriate strength, and the propitious knowledge. And let our meditation enlighten and enrich. And let there be amongst us compassion and peace. By your grace, Srimati, may there be complete satisfaction within us, peace within us, joy within us, love within us, and that oneness of spirit and oneness of purpose to transform ourselves and transform humanity as one. Om Shanti 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 Om. Salutations, Sri Ganesha, Sakshat Sri Jesus, Sakshat Sri Mataji, Sri Nirmala Devai, Namo Namaha. For verily you're the beginning of all beginnings, and you're the doer of all deeds which have been done, are being done, and will be done. It is you who supports all things that are supported, and it is you who protects all things that are protected. For it is you who is the complete pervading spirit, God's divine energy. Think clearly, brain. Speak only the truth. Sri Ganesha, let your presence awaken in us by Mother Kundalini. Speak. Sri Ganesha, let your presence awaken in us by Mother Kundalini. Listen. Sri Ganesha, let your presence awaken in us by Mother Kundalini. Bless. Sri Ganesha, let your presence awaken by Mother Kundalini in us. Your disciple, be the disciple. For you're the essence of all the sacred literature and the holy words. And you're the divine energy that understands the holy word. You're the divine combination of complete truth, complete happiness, and complete energy, and you're beyond. For you're all knowledge, and you're the use to which the knowledge is put. You exist until the end of all things, and after the end of all things you are. For you create the end of all things, and after the end of all things you remain indifferent. Verily, Sri Ganesha, your earth, your water, your fire, your air, and you're the space above the air. You're the gunas and you're beyond the gunas. You're the body and you're beyond the body. You're the essence of time and you're beyond time. You and only you exist at the Muladhara chakra. You're the spirit and you're beyond the spirit. And those who would join God meditate upon you. Veli Shri Ganesha, you're Brahma, you're Shri Vishnu, Shri Rudra, and you're Shri Indra, Shri Agni, and Shri Vayu. For you're the sun at noon and the full moon. Through all of these and more, you're all-pervading energy of innocence and wisdom. You're the divine servant who stoops to wash the feet of saints. You're the tiny core of all things, without which the larger have no purpose. You're the key to the libraries of all the scriptures, without which the truth is hidden. You're the full stop that completes the sentence, without which the sentence loses its meaning. You're the crescent moon, you're the stars, and you're beyond the stars. All things from tiny dot to universe are you, for you're the future and you're beyond the future. You're in all forms. You're where the sounds combine. You're the silence between the sounds. You're the rhythm of all music and all prayers. For this is the knowledge of Sri Nirmal Ganesha, and you, Sri Nirmal Ganesh, are the master of that knowledge and all knowledge. For you're God and you're the goddess. Om Gam Nirmal Ganpati. To your powers, Sri Ganesha, let us all surrender. Let the left side of memory and the right side of action surrender to you, and let your enlightenment prevail. Your first tooth you have, and 4 holy hands, one holding a rope, the second a gourd, the third is raised in blessings, and the fourth offers sustenance. Your banner is that of a humble mouse. You have long ears and are clothed in red. Red decorates you, and you're worshipped with red flowers. You have compassion for those who love you, and it's for those who love you that you come on this earth. Verily, you're the force that creates, the energy that pervades, and the spirit that protects. Those who seek your union with God pray through you. Those who seek union with God worship you. Om Gam Nirmal Jesus Ye. To your powers, Shri Jesus, let us all surrender. Let the left side of memory and right side of action surrender to you, and may your enlightenment prevail. You're the word that was the beginning. You're the word that will be the ending. You're he who was born of a virgin and died on the cross. You're the one who was resurrected and who resurrects us all. You're he who absorbs all sins and who died to live again. For you're God and man, and we worship you with red flowers. You have compassion for those who love you, and it is for those who love you that you come to this earth. You're the force that creates, the energy that pervades, and the spirit that protects. Those who seek union with God pray through you. Those who seek union with God worship you. Sri Ganesha, salutations to you. Sri Jesus, salutations to you again and again. You who are the beginning of all worship, salutations to you. You who destroy all the powers of evil, salutations to you. You who bring everyone together and make us one, salutations to you again and again. Sakshat Son of Lord Shiva, who is unending blessings, salutations to you. Sakshat Son of Shri Mary Mataji, who is unending love, salutations to you. Sakshat Shri Mataji Nirmala Devi, who is unending joy, who is the mother of us all, salutations to you again and again and again. Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti, Shri Mataji, Shri Nirmala Devi, Namo Namaha. Now we'll offer some names of Lord Christ. We'll take the name of Sri Yeshu Krista. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Yeshu Krista Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Shri Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha. So now we'll take the name and Namo Namaha. Shri Agya Chakra Swami, for you're the Lord of the Agya Chakra. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Agya Chakra Swami Namo Namaha. For verily, Lord Christ, you're the Sun, Shri Surya. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Suryai Namo Namaha. And you're the bestower of forgiveness, Shri Shama Pradayakai. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Shama Pradayakai Namo Namaha. Verily, your form is of forgiveness itself, Shri Shama Swarupai. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Shama Swarupai Namo Namaha. Verily, you're the bestower of contentment, self-restraint, detachment, and patience. For your Shri Shama, Dama, Vairagya, Titiksh, Pradaikai. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Shama, Dama, Vairagya, Titiksha, Pradaikai. Namo Namaha. For verily you're the Om personified, for your Sri Omkara. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Omkarai Namo Namaha. Verily you're the vibrations and the flow of vibrations, for your Sri Chaitanya. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Chaitanya Namo Namaha. For you're the all-pervading primordial being, you're Sri Adi Purusha. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Adi Purushai Namo Namaha. For you're the one with 1,000 heads, Shri Sahasra Shishai. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Sahasra Shishai Namo Namaha. And you're the one who has 1,000 eyes, Shri Sahasra Akshay. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Sahasra Akshay Namo Namaha. For you're the 9th incarnation of Sri Vishnu. Sri Vishnu. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Vishnu Namo Namaha. For you're the son of Sri Krishna, who was the 8th incarnation of Sri Vishnu. For you're Sri Vishnu Sutai. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Vishnu Sutai Namo Namaha. For you're the higher aspect of Sri Vishnu, who is Sri Ganesha. For you're Sri Mahavishnu. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Mahavishnu Namo Namaha. For you're the one who wields millions of universes. For you're Sri Anantakoti Brahmanda Dharakai. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Anantakoti Brahmanda Dharakai Namo Namaha. For you were born in the primordial cosmic egg, Shri Hiranyagarbha. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Hiranyagarbhai Namo Namaha. You're the one who was foretold by the prophets. Shri Purva Ghoshatai. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Purva Ghoshatai Namo Namaha. For you're worshipped by the 3 Magi, that was Sri Brahma, Sri Vishnu, and Sri Shiva. Sri Brahma Vishnu Rudra Sevitai. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Brahma, Vishnu, Rudra Sevitai, Namo Namaha. You're the one who bestows chastity. Shri Pavitra Pradaikai. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Pavitriyai Pradaikai. Namo Namaha. You're the Lord of cows and the protector of the world. For your Shri Gopala. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Gopalai Namo Namaha. For you're the one who was attended by cows at your birth and worshipped by the denizens of the central channel. Shri Go Sevitai. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Go Sevitai. Namo Namaha. For you're the son of Lord Krishna, and that's why you're called Christ. Shri Krishna Sutai. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Krishna Sutai. Namo Namaha. For you're the son of Sri Radha, who incarnated again as Sri Mary Mahalakshmi. Sri Radha Nandanai. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Radha Nandanai. Namo Namaha. You're the one who's the destroyer of all sins. For your Shri Papanashakai. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Papanashakai. Namo Namaha. And you're the one who liberates us from all sins. Shri Papa Vimochakai. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Papa Vimochakai. Namo Namaha. For you're the light of this universe. For your Shri Prakasha. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Prakashai. Namo Namaha. And you're the one who's the ether for your Shri Akasha. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Akashai. Namo Namaha. And you're the fire for your Shri Agni. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Agni. Namo Namaha. You're the one who's the great compassion. For you Shri Mahakarunya Rupihi. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Mahakarunya Rupihi. Namo Namaha. And you're the one who does the greatest of penances for your Shri Tapasvi. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Tapasvihi. Namo Namaha. And this last one, we'll say the full mantra. For you're the Bij mantras Ham and Sham. Shri Ham Sham Bijai. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Ham Sham Bijai Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Shri Mataji Shri Nirmala Devai. Namo Namaha. Shri Mataji, Shri Nirmala Devai, Namo Namaha. Shri Mataji, Shri Nirmala Devai, Namo Namaha. Shri Mataji, Shri Nirmala Devai, Namo Namaha. We'll sit in silence for 2 minutes, then listen to a beautiful hymn, and then go to Aarti.
How would you like to turn your innate passion
दुआ देना, माँ सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माता जी, जय निर्मल माता जी, दिल में सदा रहना, माँ सबको दुआ देना, सबको दुआ देना, माँ सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माता जी, जय निर्मल माता जी, दिल में सदा रहना, माँ सबको दुआ देना। जग में संकट कारण कितने दिए अवतार, माँ कितने दिए अवतार। विश्व में तेरी महिमा, विश्व में तेरी महिमा, तू गंगा यमुना, माँ सबको दुआ देना, सबको दुआ देना, माँ सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माता जी, जय निर्मल माता जी, दिल में सदा रहना, माँ सबको दुआ देना। जो भी शरण में आया सुख ही मिला उसको, माँ सुख ही मिला उसको। बैठ के दिल में ओ माँ, बैठ के दिल में ओ माँ, लौट के ना जाना, माँ सबको दुआ देना, सबको दुआ देना, माँ सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माता जी, जय निर्मल माता जी, दिल में सदा रहना, माँ सबको दुआ देना। मानव में अवतर के कर दिया उजियाला, माँ कर दिया उजियाला। कलयुग में माया है, कलयुग में माया है, फिर भी पहचाना, माँ सबको दुआ देना, सबको दुआ देना, माँ सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माता जी, जय निर्मल माता जी, दिल में सदा रहना, माँ सबको दुआ देना। संत जनों की धरती है भारत माता, माँ है भारत माता। इस धरती पर आकर, इस धरती पर आकर, दुख से दूर करना, माँ सबको दुआ देना, सबको दुआ देना, माँ सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माता जी, जय निर्मल माता जी, दिल में सदा रहना, माँ सबको दुआ देना। जब दिल में आए तब मधु संगीत सुन लो, माँ मधु संगीत सुन लो। हो सके जो सेवा, हो सके जो सेवा, हमसे करा लेना, माँ सबको दुआ देना, सबको दुआ देना, माँ सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माता जी, जय निर्मल माता जी, दिल में सदा रहना, माँ सबको दुआ देना, माँ सबको दुआ देना, माँ सबको दुआ देना। त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री महालक्ष्मी महासरस्वती महाकाली त्रिगुणात्मिका कुंडलिनी साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माता जी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमः। त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री कल्की साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माता जी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमः। त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री कल्की साक्षात् श्री सहस्रार स्वामिनी मोक्षप्रदायिनी माता जी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमः। श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमः। श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमः। बोलो श्री भगवती माता जी श्री निर्मला देवी की जय।
Thank you.